Hey guys, how we doing today? All right, well, as some of you have noticed, I've been posting up quite a bit, quite a few videos of my coyote hunts, me and my friends, and I've been receiving a lot of emails and people commenting on the videos and stuff like that. And most of the folks that are interested in coyote hunting have a lot of questions, and so I'm going to try to answer some of those. I've been PMing people back and emailing people back with specific questions, but I seem to get a lot of the same questions, and so I've got a list here, and I'll just try to go over the list and tell you what I think and what my opinion and my advice is on it. And on that note, please understand, I just do this for fun, the coyote hunting. I don't, I've been doing it for a while now, and me and a couple of friends. And so, I mean, I still have a lot to learn. That's one thing you're going to find out in coyote hunting, is that about the time you think you have the coyote figured out, that he's going to do something totally catch you by surprise. Happens to us all the time. And so anyway, so just be aware, this is just my opinion, what works for us. And there's a lot of very proficient coyote hunters out there, so you might drop them some emails too. So let's just get started here. I'm going to go down this list and we'll go from there. So one of the questions is that I get asked a lot is, where do you hunt and what type of land? Well, I live in Northern California, and we have a very diverse countryside around here. We've got mountains, we have brushy areas, close-in hunting. We have large, flat, wide open, kind of deserty type terrain. Myself personally, I like the wide open countryside, just because you can see the coyote coming from a ways. Gives you a chance to get your heart rate slowed down, get you set up, and get a good shot off at the coyote. So I hunt all types of areas, and a lot of that is dictated to what kind of access, and we'll talk about that, access to the land, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Another big one, what's your favorite sound or favorite call? And I use an electronic call, and so do my friends. We started off with hand calls, and never had a lot of success, very little success with hand calls. And so went to the electronic call, exclusively been using Fox Pro lately, and have really good luck with it. And so my favorite sound, my go-to sound, is the lightning jack, and pretty much everybody's using that. And so we'll get to that too. We'll talk about that a little bit here in a minute. So how do you like to set up? Again, the terrain is going to dictate how you're going to want to make your stand. For me, I like to be up high if available. I like to if we're hunting, I like to hunt areas where there's little valleys and drainages, and that way I can get up on the side of a drainage. Hopefully there's some bushes or a tree, and get up against that, and so I can look over the area. Again, I like to be able to see the coyote coming to the call, and it gives me the advantage. Gives us time. Whoever is the shooter on the stand, gives them time to track the dog, get set up, and make a really good shot. This is a really big question, or an often asked question, is how do you find areas to hunt? So again, where you live. If you're in an area like Nevada or places like that, Arizona, where you have a lot of public lands, then go to your BLM office. Now this is my stack of BLM maps here, and this covers about 200 miles in surrounding my town that I live in. And these maps here cost about $7 a piece, but it shows all the public lands, shows national forests, stuff like that. And so that way, you know, you can know where you can access public land. Check with, you know, if you do go to your BLM office and you get these BLM maps, make sure to ask if you can, specifically if you can hunt. Most BLM land here in Northern California we can hunt on. A lot of areas prohibit target shooting, but you can still hunt. So just make sure you know, get your ducks in a row, make sure you've got it figured out. This one is a national forest map, and this one covers 2 of the national forests, which is Shasta and Trinity here. And again, most national forest lands you can hunt on, but just make sure to double check. You know, talk to the ranger office and make sure you can hunt wherever you're going to. Let's see. Oh yeah, and I do, outside of that, we do have a lot of access to a lot of private land, and that is the best. Okay, if you can get access to a private ranch, you know, a cattle ranch, sheep ranch, anywhere where they have livestock, chickens, you know, things like that, there's probably going to be coyotes there. And if you can get access to that, it hasn't been hunted, and that's going to yield you your best results. Is definitely private land. And how do you get access to private land? Knocking on doors. A lot of times I'll just drive out in the country, and a lot of times you'll see a rancher out there feeding his stock. Pull up at the fence, you know, wave him down or something, and just talk to him. You know, just ask him, say, you know, I'm coyote hunting, and tell him, you know, for me it works. I tell them I'm very respectful. I'm not going to leave trash on your land. I also tell them, you know, if I'm out wandering around and I see, you know, a hole in your fence, a down fence, I'll try to repair it, or I'll definitely report it to you. If I find a dead cow or a dead sheep, I'll come back and tell the rancher, and that goes a long way to getting you in and keeping you on that private land. So there you go on that. Oh boy, big debate. Hand calls versus electronic calls. Kind of covered that at first. I'm an electronic calls guy, and the reason, one of the main reasons is I can get the call away from me. And that's another debated thing. It was just discussed in one of the forums I belong to. Is a lot of people like them real close in, 20, 30 yards away from them. I don't. I do some long-range shooting. You may have seen some of my other videos of you know, me shooting long-range. And so I like making long shots. And I spend a lot of time at the range shooting at long distances. So I generally put my call, the electronic call, out 75 to 100 yards out. And most shots we make on coyotes around here on our stands are between 100, 150 yards, sometimes 200 yards. I've made shots on them out to 300 yards. So that's how I like to do it. And again, you've got to find what works for you and what works for your specific area. Again, if you know, live on the East Coast where it's brushy and thick, you know, you're gonna have to adjust for that. You know, you're gonna have to, if your shots are 50 yards or so, then you're gonna want to probably put that call in a little closer. If you're using hand calls, the thing is too, with electronic call, I use a decoy on there. Some people don't. It's, you know, another thing that's debated. I like it. I've watched, you know, I've watched these coyotes come to the call, and they see that decoy out there moving around it, and they just fixate on it. And so if they're looking at that, they're not looking around, and they're not going to see me. I don't wear a lot of camouflage. I have a camouflage coat just because that's my hunting jacket, but I wear jeans, and I found out really early. I spent $300 or $400 on some real nice camo, and I learned very quickly that the coyote didn't care if I had camouflage on. Movement is what coyotes, movement and their nose. So you know, gets me to another point is when I set my call out, I try to have the call upwind from me, because the coyote, what I've noticed, normally the coyote is going to want to try to circle around downwind of the call so he can smell it and see what the heck is it, you know, what's that noise. They rely heavily on their noses. So, you know, if I'm downwind, then I can catch that coyote when he's trying to circle around. So there's another little tip. Let's see. Gentleman in South Dakota asked about my success rate. Our success rate says, you know, a lot of pictures, a lot of videos. Looks like you guys are really successful. And for the most part, you know, generally we are pretty successful. And I think a lot of that has to do just in the area we're at. We do have a lot of coyotes here, but we put in a lot of effort too. But let me just say this too. It's like for every 5 or 10 minute video, coyote hunting video that I post up, you know, that could have been, you know, generally on an average hunting day, we go out and we set up, you know, 3 to 5 stands. And I probably shoot in that amount of time, probably 2 or 3 hours of video to get a successful, you know, to get a coyote to come in, a successful hunt, and to get that 5-10 minutes of video. So, you know, just like the DVDs, the predator hunting DVDs and stuff you see, it's a lot of effort. Those guys are compiling a lot of footage to do that, and we're just doing this again, just, you know, just having fun. When we can get away and get out and hunt, we do. Another thing, yes. Speaking of videos, I see this in a lot of these hunting videos. Is the guy who will call on a coyote, and he makes a shot, gets the coyote, and then he jumps up and he's doing the little happy dance, you know. I don't recommend that. We make the shot and we go to the pup to distress on the call, and we sit still. And a lot of times coyotes travel in pairs, and especially when they have pups, and the pups are getting a little older in the late summertime, you know, you can call in 3 or 4 coyotes. And if you make a shot on one, they're gonna, you know, the other one might run off. You hit that pup in distress, it's gonna stop and it's gonna say, whoa, you know, what's happening to my buddy? And it might come back. We get that happen a lot of times. Or one coyote will come in and another will stay on, you know, out of sight somewhere. You make the shot, you know, he knows something's up, but he hit that pup in distress, and boy, we've had them come in before. And you know, one of the videos there you can watch, and I think I've got a couple of videos where there's 2 coyotes there. So. Stay seated, relax a little bit, let the call run for a while. If you're hand calling, you know, blow some wounded pup sounds, and you might be surprised, you might get another dog to come in. Okay, next question is, again, this kind of has to do with areas of hunting. I see a lot of people on forums posting, man, you know, I've hunted this area, you know, I've been hunting for 1-2 years or more, and I've never got a coyote to come in. You know, you know, are you going to different areas? And the guy will tell me, no, I'm hunting the same area. Well, okay, obviously you got a few things going on there. Either there's no coyotes in that area, and if it is public land, very possibility that they've been hunted out of there and driven away. Coyotes are smart. They're just like a domesticated dog. They learn. They're trained, and after a while, you shoot enough of them, they know there's something up with that area, and they're not going to come to it. You know, don't hunt the same area, guys, over and over and over. We break it up. Like, we'll go out, like on these videos, we go out and, you know, we get a dog out of an area. It'll be, you know, 2 months, 3 months before we go back to that area to hunt it again. Let it cool off. Don't overhunt your areas. Especially if you got private land to hunt. And there's a lot of coyotes on there. I mean, we've got some ranches that are just chock full of coyotes, and you know, we don't just hunt them out of it, you know, out of that area. We want to save that, you know, to keep the coyotes in there. So you know, mix it up. You know, find, again, search, get some maps. You know, go knock on doors, find some new areas. Don't overhunt your areas. Okay, what's my favorite caliber? Well, you know, you can hunt coyotes with just about anything. I know people shoot them with like 22 Magnums, 17 HMRs. Again, if you're in a close area, I guess that would be okay. I personally wouldn't hunt them with that. You know, really popular is 204, 223, of course, is probably the main coyote around. The most popular one is 223. 243, I used 243 for a long time. Really good luck with that. It's hard on fur. If you're saving the pelts, then, you know, you want to stay with a light bullet and a lighter caliber, 204, 223 with a 40 or 50 grain bullet, like a VMAX, you know, something that doesn't make a big nasty exit wound, tear up the fur, if you're keeping the fur. So pretty much any decent rifle. I mean, you know, you can use 30-06, 7 mag, 300 Win Mag, whatever it takes. Shotgun. A lot of people use shotguns in close-in areas, or if you're calling them in close, you know, 12-gauge shotgun. Number 4 buck is what we normally use for shotguns. Okay, how long do I stay on a stand? again, 15 to 20 minutes is my personal. If I haven't got a dog coming in by that time, I'm pretty sure it's not coming in. A lot of people will stay a lot longer, and you know, if they're getting success rate out of that, I personally am not that patient. I can sit for 20 minutes not moving, but after that I want to start fidgeting, you know, my back starts hurting, whatever. So about 15-20 minutes is what I stay on a stand for, and again, that's just me. You got to find what works for you, find your groove, and use what works for you. Do you hunt other things, other animals? Well, no. Well, yes I do. I hunt ground squirrels too, and hopefully this spring I plan on doing some ground squirrel hunts. We've got some really good areas to go that are usually full of ground squirrels, and we should be able to get some good footage of exploding ground squirrels. And so yes, I'll be hopefully be posting up some of that. But no, I don't hunt deer, I don't hunt bear, I don't do any bird hunting anymore. Used to do that way back when I was younger, and just kind of got out of it. It doesn't interest me too much anymore. And so there you have it. Hopefully that covered. I mean, I know there's all sorts of questions. Equipment, I try to cover that. I have another little video out there if you look at it, basic equipment of what I carry on a coyote hunt. What's my #1 best tip for a new hunter? I want to go back again. Well, this is probably my best tip. Okay, is the whole overhunting thing that we just talked about, and finding areas. You know, we hike. Me and my friends, we hike, and I know a lot of people don't do that. A lot of people, you know, if they take their quad or or their rhino, or they'll drive their truck or whatever, and they'll park and they'll hike 100-200 yards away and set up and call. And they don't seem to have a lot of success rate. Well, again, if it's easy, there's probably a lot of other people that have already been to that, and they're probably doing that exact same thing, and it's probably shot out. On average, on an average stand in our areas that we hunt, we probably generally hike 1 to 2 miles for each stand. And coyotes are territorial. I've seen them run in, watch them on a long distance, and watch them run and get a quarter mile from where we're calling and stop and just stand there and look and you can tell by its body language, watching it through some binoculars or something, tell through its body language that it wants to come over there, it wants to go to that sound. But that could be another coyote's territory, another pack of coyotes or whatever. So you can move a half mile or so, and it could just be a whole night and day difference. I mean, you could call, nothing, and you can hike a half mile, a mile away, call, and all of a sudden you got a couple of coyotes coming in. So my #1 biggest tip is stick with it. Don't get discouraged. You're gonna find out what works for you eventually, but be diverse. Be willing to adapt and try things new. Grab a backpack, throw some water and snacks, your calls, your rifle, and head out and hike and get to areas that most people aren't going to, and that should help your success rate. So there you go, guys. Keep sending in the questions. I'll do more of these videos if you like this one. I know these are just corny homemade videos. I'm sitting here at the dining room table talking to my camera, but keep sending in these questions. I'll try to answer them, and hopefully it'll help somebody. And I have a lot to learn still. I ask questions a lot too. Again, right about the time I think I figure these coyotes out, they do something to totally say, wow, where did that come from? And no, I don't have them figured out. So anyways, keep emailing me. I will try to keep posting up some new videos. Keep watching for more coyote hunting videos. As soon as the weather, hopefully the weather will clear up a little bit. We have this big storm going on outside right now. There you go, another time to hunt. Really good time to hunt is right after a big storm. Coyotes got to eat, especially in the wintertime when it's cold. They burn up, just like the human, they burn up a lot more calories when it's cold. And the rest of the game that they're hunting, rabbits and squirrels and mice and stuff, when it's raining and cold out there, they're all holed up too. So big storm for 2 or 3 days, man, and keep an eye on the weather report. You wake up first thing in the morning and it's cleared off or it's not storming, grab your gear, get out there. I've had a lot of success rate right after a big storm. So anyways, guys, I'm gonna go get this posted up and keep sending in the questions, and keep just keep at it, and keep subscribe, keep tuned in, and hopefully I'll be having some new videos up shortly. All right, you guys, thanks so much.